So I ran 70 images through two AI image models and on two different aggregators. Spent under $11 and had Claude Code Opus score every single match.
In this video, you will get a full comparison of Nano Banana 2 and GPT Image 2 across 70 generations. Also see how one aggregator is 7 times cheaper for the exact same image quality, and you get 5 specific prompting patterns that fix model failures and typos, and you can download the full repo and Python pipeline on my free school community.
And I found some weird stuff. One of these aggregators, which is Open Router, charges 7 times more for GPT Image 2 than the other one. For the same model, for the same prompt. This is crazy. And one of the models wins a category you would swear the other model dominate. Quick context on why I bothered with all this. There are at least 7 decent image models on Open Router right now. And someone posts a "this one beats everything" tweet pretty much every week. If you are just trying to make thumbnails or product shots or ad creatives, picking one is basically a coin flip unless you actually test them on the kind of work you do. I got tired of guessing. So I built a little arena. I have 30 prompts spread all across 8 categories. Prompt fires into both models, and Claude Code basically reviews every pair on the 5 different things. So firstly, how it renders text, how realistic the image looks, and whether it actually followed the prompt and the composition, and whether you could actually use the output as is. The whole pipeline runs itself. Claude Code wrote almost all of the Python code for it. I basically just told Claude to build it. This is what came out the other side. I'm not walking through all 30 matchups. That would be brutal. So I picked 5 that tells the whole story about this all comparison. Let's go to let's go back to matchup 11. So this is the global coffee consumption chart with 5 countries. So you can see here GPT renders the bars in the right order, but the every single number on the y-axis is blurred too much. So totally unreadable. And for chart, the numbers are actually the chart. So this is an easy one for Nano. This is an expense tracker in dark mode, and we have a specific balance. We have 4 transaction lists and 4 quick action buttons. And GPT gets the dark mode aesthetic, right? And all the text reads correctly, but it only shows 3 transactions instead of 4. So 4, I asked for 4, not 3. So Nano renders it as a really nice photoreal iPhone mockup for transaction, exactly what I asked for. But the catch is it gives me 2 phones. So let's go to matchup 19. Okay, fantasy card. This is supposed to be a portrait oriented with an ornate silver border and a cave scene. So GPT nails it. Proper card shape. So moody cave, glowing lantern, stats in the corners. Yeah, I like it. And Nano renders it landscape, which it doesn't really read like a card at all. Looks more like a game show reveal slide. Yeah, this one also goes to GPT-2. So let's go to 26, the last one. Yeah, this is macro photography. So we have dew droplets on the leaf. We have backlit with the rainbow reflection inside. So that's it. This is what we want. So GPT gives me a single hero droplet with this beautiful warm black light. A really pretty image overall. Just doesn't have the rainbow reflections the prompt specifically asked for. And Nano comes back with dozens of droplets, a full sunburst behind the leaf, and you can actually see the color spectrum inside several of the droplets. Exactly what I asked for. Oh, across all 13 matchups in the main round, Nano takes 22. The GPT takes 8, so there is no ties at all. Um, Nano also leads on every single axis, so realism um, by close to a full point. Then you have composition, usability. Yeah, text accuracy. This is the part of the video that's worth screenshotting. Um, these 5 patterns that you see here came out of watching the failures in the comparison. So they work on basically any image model, not just these two. So when GPT Image 3 or Gemini 4 lens or whatever next, you can just keep using them. One is to describe the shape, not the category, which means in matchup 1, my prompt said single red geometric accent, for example. And GPT gave me a square. And Nano gave me the triangle, both technically correct. But I had a square in my head when I wrote it. The fix is just being explicit. So write red square and you get the red square. And this costs you nothing actually to be specific instead of being so vague. The second one is to count things explicitly, which means in our expense tracker prompt, we said 4 transactions and we got 3. And the bicycle history prompt, we asked for milestones, 4 milestones, and GPT just skipped the one of them. So the models drift on counts when you give them a number alone. If you actually need exactly 4 of something, then either say exactly 4 or list all 4 elements by name. So the matchups where I listed every single item, like that country chart, both models nailed the count. If I rewrite that, for example, as vintage letterpress poster, then GPT gave me the clean, modern, flat typography, and it didn't read as letterpost at all. For 3, you have to describe the medium. What does this mean? So in one of the prompts, I wrote vintage letterpress poster, and the GPT gave me a clean, modern, flat typography, but it didn't read at all as letterpress, sorry, because the model doesn't really know what letterpress looks like, and if I rewrite the prompt like vintage letterpress poster, we're adding this vintage, so the banana, it gives you something you'd even hang in the museum. So describe what shows up visually, not just the technique you have in mind. Okay, pattern number 4 is say what you don't want. So this is the negative of the last one. So the UI mockup that showed you, the ones that gave me two phones and a brand logos, that was totally my fault for not excluding them. Because if I added a line, for example, saying no device frame, no brand logos, this saves me exactly the the cleanup pass in Photoshop or some software later. So don't ask the model to invent realistic numbers. So it will absolutely will, and they will be plausible looking, but they will also be wrong. So just put the numbers in the prompt yourself. The coffee chart, for example, worked because I literally listed Finland 12.0, Norway 9, and so on. And so the same with that playoff bracket I tested later. Um, eight teams scored, all listed. All right. So after the main run wrapped up, I started wondering, was this $9 maybe actually fair, or was I overpaying because I just picked the first aggregator that came up in my research? I didn't, but this is my feeling. So there is another um, one aggregator called Kai AI. This one here, which the pitch is something like 30 to 50% cheaper than Open Router, which sounded actually too good to ignore. So I ran another test, small test. So I have prepared 5 prompts from the same sources that I used before. These prompts I have never tried in the main round. So I run another small test, 5 new prompts that I hadn't tried in my main round. So you have this granola product with a label and with a barcode. You can see clearly here, which I think if I would, this is more realistic, I'd say. So for this, I would pick this one. This is also more realistic. Yeah, for robot, I'd pick this. This looks like real one. Whereas the shapes here are not so perfect. This looks really good. Yeah. And so let's talk about pricing now. The differences between the two. So Open Router charged me $9.39 for 60 images, which works out for about 16 cents an image on average. And GPT was 21 cents per call. For Kai, I paid around 5 cents, 5.5 cents on an image. And GPT-2, so it was 3 cents flat. So that's roughly 7 times cheaper for GPT Image 2, by the way, and on the exact same model, of course, with an output quality I genuinely cannot tell. So it's the same. So I would run the original, if I would run the original 30 prompts benchmark on Kai instead of Open Router, then the bill would have been about $330 instead of $9.39, and the speed was about the same on both, so roughly a minute per image. And Kai actually had better reliability in my sport symbol, so 10 succeeded. But Open Router had 3 out of 60 that were failed, and I had to retry. So my new rule of thumb, so Open Router when I'm exploring or prototyping, because it's easy to set up, not so much code. and Kai when I'm running real volume, so it's on batch. OpenRouter has way more models in its catalog. This is the Pro, and the API is also simpler, and it's one post, and you have the image back. But Kai makes you create a task and then pull for the result, which is a little bit more, yeah, more code. But if you are generating, for example, 4 out of 5, this is, I'm talking about Claude. So and there is and this is and here is the part that's genuinely surprised me. In those 5 Kai bonus matchups, GPT won 4 out of 5, and this is of course the Claude assessment, but total flip from the main round. So the main round was completely for Nano Banana. I still think that Nano Banana is better, to be honest. But yeah, this is Claude thinking. This is Claude Opus assessment. This is Claude Code thinking, not me.